Hey y'all, it is August the 28th, 2023, and I just wanted to holler at the few of y'all who's gonna wind up seeing this video, alright, because I know I've been slacking, and of course you need consistency if you want the views on YouTube. I don't have that consistency, not right now. Perhaps later. We're getting consistency behind the scenes, different various things such as fitness, right? Catching that macho madness and other stuff. I'm gonna holler at you about it later. Working with technology to edit videos. Right? I used to edit videos and then I stopped for a long time. It's kind of a professional thing to do, to edit your videos. So I got that technology back again, and different other various stuff. I hope you're doing well out there. Some of y'all I haven't heard from in a while. Feel free to, in the comments section, just say hello so that I know that you're out there, if in fact you saw this video. We only want to talk about a couple of things right quick. I'm sitting here in my car. Got the light on so it's not so creepy, but I don't want to keep the light on for a long time, right? So you understand. I just wanted to holler at y'all about a couple of things, and I know that y'all probably find crucial. We're actually on Google right now, and I typed in COVID outbreak. Now, definitely, I've gotten word from the people who I generally hear from regularly, and they'd been hearing things, and they were like hearing these certain particular things that I had brought up, considering lockdowns, shutdowns, shove downs. I don't know what you would call them. All different various types of stifling the economy. So I just go ahead and call them lockdowns, but I know there's various different forms of it all over the world, some even more tyrannical than others, and of course we've experienced the tyranny before, no matter where you're at. Okay, they are fixing to bring it back. And for example, people might say, oh really, if they didn't hear about it, like, oh really, come on, really, they're gonna bring it back? Because we know full well, yes, they're gonna bring it back. All right, it doesn't matter that we know full well. And they got all these publications as proof. If you want to prove, just type it on Google. Pandemics don't really end. They echo Time magazine. And this is going to be like a never ending. I mean, this is going to be thousands of publications. So we're only going to get the tippy top, like COVID outbreak declared in Cambridge Memorial Hospital. Uh-oh. News from the kitchen there. Not over yet. Check this out. I mean, you already know. So this is proof that they're winding up, fixing to come with that overhand shot. Not over yet. Late summer COVID wave breaks, warning of more to the crime. So I would like to also mention that back in the day, ever since before this, people would get these COVID-like sicknesses during certain seasons of the year. They wouldn't get it at like the damn peak of summer, or like the waning part of summer that we're in. They wouldn't get that, but now they're getting that, allegedly. Video: Kentucky school cancels classes after the flu and the strep and the COVID. And it does make you wonder, it's probably different in different situations, but is it the children who are getting sick, or is it the faculty? Because I've heard of the faculty before, in which they're all getting sick and they're all testing, quote, positive. All right, it's just, we could keep going and keep going if we wanted to. Look, COVID-19 outbreak, reducing hours at Montague Hospital Emergency Department. Does that make any sense at all? Okay, because of this outbreak of so-called disease, we are having people work less at the hospital. And it just goes on and on. I'm not going to humor these people by reading all their headlines and stuff. And of course, it's going to be local too as well. It's going to be, no matter where you're at, it's going to be local. There's an outbreak. And they're gearing up for it. And they've told certain people, of course, you can already understand universities, hotels, hospitals and stuff. It's not, it's just, there might be a thing with the masks. There might be a thing with the mandates coming down the pike. So they're setting it up. Thing is, just to wrap it up on that topic, it makes perfect sense because politically they are done for. Their whole goose is cooked and they have no choice. What are they going to do? An election year coming up. What do they have to do? Get everybody some diseases. I don't know how much diseases. Alex Jones and a lot of other people have been claiming to have caught this bioweapon and just had terrible consequences. I don't know if I ever caught this bioweapon. Although I did get a suspicious blood infection, as some of y'all might recall. And it kind of tried to eat my heart. And it caused all sort of complications. So I have no idea. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. However, a lot of people are having heart problems. Alright? Yeah, they're bringing it back. Alright? The lockdown, what are we going to exactly say about it? But the reason also why I wanted to bring it up is just to put it, maybe if you might have thought about this as well, how many people are thinking about this. So if we say no to your masks, if it's half of us, and your mandates and all this, and checking in, and everything else, those really cool codes and stuff, and the scanning of the eyeballs, if we were to say no, I think that they would sprinkle on more diseases because that's what they seem to be doing. I don't want to catch whatever disease that they seem to be sprinkling on us. Right? And I'm feeling very good, but I'm also concentrating a lot. That's what's taking up my time and stuff. That's why we're going to cut the broadcast real short for today. And I just wanted to holler at you. Holler at me in the comment section. Prove that you're alive for the most part. It could be a robot, but holler at me in the comment section. The thing is, this can't be very long. Alright? Gonna bring it back to lockdown. The thing is, people are going to refuse it, obviously. They're gonna sprinkle more disease. How much more disease, we're going to find out, but perhaps preparation is in order. And I'm talking to myself as well, because I do have access to certain things, and I do need to get more things stockpiled. As far as health, if you don't have your health, you have nothing. Before I get off this topic, I do want to say also, without your health, you don't have nothing. The flu is very bad. Running a fever is very bad. If you're doing it for a prolonged period of time, you need to seek help. I don't know if I can say a hospital, maybe a hospital, but I don't know if I can say that. That's pretty bad. And also, I want to state that if you have a prolonged thing, people are experiencing prolonged symptoms. This is why I bring it up. If you have a prolonged thing about symptoms in which it causes you to not be able to exercise. First of all, you had to exercise before this. And if you're experiencing symptoms in which, and I say this from personal experience, in which you're not capable of exercising for a day, for 2 days. If it's 2 days and you can't exercise, you need to seek help immediately. Something's going on real bad, and you need to nip it in the bud. All right, safety first. Also, do want to mention while we're here, and I don't have anything pulled up, but the whole Hawaii thing. What I want to say is, if it's not clear, I don't know how many people on my wavelength, is that Hawaii is a devastating tragedy. What happened there in Maui, And for all the people, all the old timers back in the day, my dad included, who would talk about this and that about Pearl Harbor over in Hawaii. And that was a tragedy and devastating. That wasn't nothing, I don't think. Pearl Harbor was not nothing compared to, I think, what's transpired in Maui the other day. And what I want to say about it is what kind of like I've been saying about these sort of things is that, yeah, it could be space lasers. Yeah. And they could do all this sort of stuff. Here's the thing. Just to be simple, just to be brief, okay, prove to me that it was space lasers. And I'm not trying to be like in your face about it. I'm just saying, if someone asks you to prove that it was space lasers, and not only that, prove that it was George Soros's space lasers or Bill Gates's personal space lasers, get them like, and you know, convict them of a, it's not ever going to happen, all right? But however, I do have to lean more towards Alex Jones' way of thinking, just because it does seem like that, okay, to keep it simple, right? There's ways to keep it simple. I don't know if you've heard that it's been arsonists running around all over the globe, it seems, and setting fires. Oh, that might be. See, the thing is, that's very simple. It's very simple to do that, especially if you have a political agenda, and also you're getting caught. There's people who's actually getting caught setting these fires, and they don't want to have you thinking that they can go around the globe and having people set these fires. And it's just so simple as that. They don't need space lasers. And if you catch people in the act, it's a lot better than if you have a notion about space lasers, because you got to catch low-level people. And I want to stress that. You got to catch the low-level people. You have to. If you want to get justice, you're not going to get justice. And I don't claim to be a justice expert, but you're not going to get it by mentioning space lasers unless you have total proof of that. So it could very well be arsonists, and on top of that, like Alex Jones says, I'll kind of find out, because the evidence always, the truth always comes to the surface, and people find out. They have discernment, and they wait for it, and they have credible sources to find out. Oh, it's the power lines. Oh, damn, the power lines, they got knocked down. There was electricity all over the place. And then you have probably multiple fires starting all at one time, because somebody didn't turn the power off. I think that's protocol. I think that is protocol. We're not concerned with justice in our society, because if we were, we would understand, okay, it's protocol that you turn off the electricity. Somebody did not do it. They failed to do it, and we need total, utter justice on their head right now. There are people who are actually in charge of that, and if not, they put robots in charge of that on purpose. Who put the robots in charge of that? Because of all the people, and you want to play around with the numbers, and you already know that they're playing around with all the numbers of people who are missing, especially little children, who you started fires everywhere because you didn't turn off the electricity. Who's held accountable ever? I want to know who's ever been held accountable ever on Earth. If they found evidence of these power lines, and then, oh, y'all have the best alarm system, but for some reason y'all just couldn't put out alarm. For some reason y'all had local police stifling people who were trying to get out of harm's way, and there's buku evidence on it. I don't have to theorize about all the evidence about it. Will there be accountability? I would say no. However, there's always accountability in this universe. It just might not look the way that we would desire. But however, that's an amazing tragedy. And when people talk about the space lasers and stuff like that, it's kind of not fruitful. I mean, because, hey, let's all acknowledge they do have that technology. That's for sure. And they could very well use it, but in the meantime, we need to get low-level people and say, hey, who gave you orders to do what? Oh, who's training the robots? Oh, Who's at the tippy top? Who's gonna sing for us right now if we promise you 1,000,000 years up under the prison? Who's gonna sing for us right now? Because of all this devastation, and is it a situation in which rich people are going to absolutely benefit as poor people are going to be even more devastated and insulted by a stumbling, mumbling Joe Biden and some $700 check? We don't have a lot of time, right? There's a lot of things going on in the world, and we can't get to them. Not yet, alright, but we're building up to it, probably. For example, number one mugshot of all time, apparently, just happened. That's the thing. We don't have a lot of time, but objectively, if we want to analyze this mugshot, right? See, there's people out there who's caught a disease, the Trump derangement disease, and they'll have all sort of reactions to this photo. Objectively speaking, come on, buddy. Nobody's ever made a mugshot that looks better than this, right? I don't know how much you have to practice in the mirror in order to have such a great mugshot as this, and it's just amazing, right? There's probably all sort of other stuff, but I gotta get back to life, right? And I gotta get my life organized and all sort of stuff, and it takes time. So I'll holler at y'all about all the other calamity later. Like, for example, people are throwing spears, 5-foot spears, into oncoming traffic, right? Here in San Antonio. All sort of stuff. People getting shot up at the gas stations, shot up and down at the gas stations. People's girlfriends getting shot up. Dirty racist white people getting shot up at the gas stations. Everybody's getting accosted and shot up at the gas stations, and that's only locally. Apparently, a super duper violent bubble has bursted in regards to the streets of San Antonio and all sort of criminality. This sort of stuff's probably happening in your local area. Holler at me about bizarre things happening in your local area. We want to talk about them later, and probably on Rumble when we get some more time. So I'll holler at y'all a little bit later. It's August the 28th of 2023. All calamity bursting at the seams and the days. I'll holler at y'all a little bit later.